of worked very well for TLID in their first match because it was against the Low Yi, right? It gave them more vision, control across the map, and comboed well with the Granger. In this case, they don't really have that, so it's not going to be quite as effective, especially against a comp like TLID's, which moves very quickly, but can still be solid overall in providing that big team fight slow, right? Because with Akai and the Badang, BIGETRON just wants to lock down their opponents.
Luke using Flicker. Interesting. I thought he'd go down the Revitalize EXP route. They needed that good source of healing and self-sustain. In terms of the emblems, it's full tank, so they're treating this Akai really as just another main front line. It's essentially a tank. It's essentially a roamer at this point.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. BIGETRON needs a front line in this case, especially since we know, oh, hold on, Luke already forced to use Flicker quite early on. A lane cut from Aran with backup from Fabian. Gonna force out a very early battle spell. Aran still in trouble. Light chasing him down, but this is very early. But does he have the damage? Oh, the Star Shatter misses. I think Aran should be able to get out here. Another wall comes out. Aran goes in, gets the shield back up, and punishes Light for overcommitting.
Oh, what a punish. And it did hurt that the Star Shatter from the Novaria missed. That could have been. It most likely would have ended up into a 1-1 trade because Light used his Flicker initially. But then he was also, Aran was also able to get a bit of the healing coming back with this combo. So Fabian here threatened by 2.
Blade Surge going to miss. Fabian still playing around cooldowns. Will be able to dash out very easily. And for now, looks like Team Liquid still in control.
Quiet on the upper portion of the map. Both gold laners are straight in and out, and BIGETRON Alpha has succeeded the first hurdle for Team Liquid ID. Unless they will try.
Ooh, that's going to be a taunt on Super Ken. He has to dash out. The electrifying beats used. Heavy spin, not going to be enough as Fabian secures the turtle, and now Super Ken caught out in the RWM. Luke being chased down, poked low. Not quite enough to finish him off, but TLID has got what they came for.
Yeah, way too risky to contest that. Aran and Widdy knew exactly where Ken was. Zoned him out top side.
Yeah, they're just diving Eman. That's a 2-man gank right there. And Team Liquid is taking no prisoners.
That was such a fast conversion. The last time we saw Fabian, he was in the lower half of the map and then easily able to come back up top and then get that and commit to help get that kill onto Eman. So right now, I think we're just seeing as to why... Well, for me personally, I'm not a fan of the Badang roam. It seems like it's a little bit more reactive, just trying to see what he can get from things that have already happened in the map.
Yeah, the thing is, Badang roam is some kind of scaling utility, but that utility will lock down the Bruno. Aaron's Shiki in a lot of trouble. AOG comes in defensively, catches a Light, and looks like BIGETRON not going to be able to convert this to a kill.
The big BTR, they're just looking for little bits of scraps right now. I don't think they... It's tough to see them winning a sequence unless Moreno can just land Star Shatter after Star Shatter before something happens so that they can build a bit of an advantage. But in the middle of a fight, it looks like it's just going to be down to them miraculously combining the wall from the Badang, the knockback from the Moskov, the heavy spin of the Akai all together. Well, that's already such a tall ask.
Yeah, BIGETRON needs to hit a lot of conditions. The goal for them is to make Team Liquid uncomfortable. And so far, they haven't been successful in doing so. TLID are still clearly the ones in control, having most of the vision on the map, and just debating and deciding how fights will go, despite having less utility overall.
Team Liquid ID are just so comfortable right now, and Aran can continue doing this even though Widdy's slow. Widdy can actually sacrifice himself, and Aran has to go forward.
2-man knockback. Super Ken no longer can approach. He has to back off, and even Luke dropped to half HP. Turtle taken in quick succession.
I feel like the next 2 objectives at least are gonna continue looking like that for BIGETRON Alpha unless they somehow find something that Team Liquid ID gives them. Yeah. It's hard to see a scenario where BIGETRON Alpha will be the one finding an opportunity and making an opportunity for themselves.
Yeah, BIGETRON has to slow down the game. I think they already know they're not in a position where they can just directly fight Liquid for a little while, so they need to wait until Eman and Moreno have a couple more items, until Light is able to reduce his CD a little bit more, because Badang really comes online later in when he's got more items to reduce his cooldowns.
But the thing is, later is gonna come. So much later than they'd want to because they're not getting the early game that they want. This is what we were talking about. That first 5 minutes has to go either really well for you, or if it's not gonna be you taking the lead, you keep things close. But the 3K gold lead, tower starting to fall already. Team Liquid ID in that lead. This is not what you want if you're BIGETRON's lineup.
Yeah, TLID taking very good advantage over their mid lane prio here, since their mid roam going to be a little bit stronger than BIGETRON early on, and that's why you could see them converting across the map so much more comfortably.
2-level gap already between Fabian and Super Ken. It's getting tougher and tougher, even though BIGETRON Alpha are still getting a bit of scraps and resources in their own side of the jungle. A little bit of the minion waves that Team Liquid ID is allowing to push forward. It's still going to take quite some time until they're in a very healthy fighting position.
So, Renmar, what would you say BIGETRON needs to do in this position to try and like regain control over the game?
If they could somehow catch a member of Team Liquid ID splitting off from the rest, that's it. Because Team Liquid ID are one of those teams that if they have that lead, they love committing that 4-1 split. Send one far and then 4 push forward. This might be a good chance.
Dodged by Aaron. He's able to flicker out, but Witty gonna be stuck under the wall, under the tower. Light managing to get that pick off. Aaron also committing the ultimate, but Emon with the snipe, stealing the turtle away.
Spear of Destruction landing just in time, and BIGETRON Alpha made me eat my own words. They found their own opportunity. They didn't get a straggler. They forced Widdy to get zoned out by Luke using that heavy spin. It scrambled Team Liquid ID a bit, and they didn't respect Eman's capability to steal it with one Spear of Destruction all the way from the other side of the map.
Fabian got a little bit greedy, didn't use the retry. He figured that they had full control over the turtle pit thanks to Aran, and BIGETRON took advantage of that. So that's nice. That's a little something that they need, but they still need a little bit more. The goal lead still 2K in favor of Team Liquid. Losing a turtle isn't too big a deal for them right now.
BTR definitely has to use this moment to get towers. I think it'll be easier said than done for any team to get the towers in the mid. But now they're committing their own split, going for 2-3 instead. Trusting that the Moskov and the Suyo will be fine, but now 1v1 is Fabian and Super Ken.
Fabian going in, electrifying beats, dropping Super Ken low and instantly blown up. Witty even cutting off his potential escape with that AOG. Fabian knew he just hit the Holy Crystal timing and took full advantage of it.
You could see at that moment, Super Ken knew he just had to take that L. Even though he would try Fabian's damage already at this point as a Joy. Just way too much for Suyo to handle.
Yeah, Team Liquid just has too much momentum across the map right now. BIGETRON's trying to play reactive with their CC, but things are happening so quickly that they're just not able to respond in time.
Yeah, for Team Liquid ID, it's like, okay, one sequence here, that's done. All right, on to the next. What are we going to do?
Oh, heavy spin with the flicker. Going to be able to pin a 1, but the rest of the team is just not there. Meanwhile, electrifying beats takes out Emma, and Aaron Shiki, though, going to be traded. That's gold for gold. Light going to be another collateral taken by Team Liquid.
Oh, it could have been such a good trade for BIGETRON Alpha, but they also lost their gold laner. That just evens things out. And, well, for Team Liquid ID, that's just a little bit more gold for themselves as well to continue pushing the lead that they have.
I like the initiative, though. Light actually found a really good angle to pin Aaron Shiki of all people. It's just unfortunate that BIGETRON wasn't actually ready to follow up on it. That's why it cost them so much more.
Yeah, it felt like BIGETRON even was surprised that Luke decided to get that flicker heavy spin in. It was like, oh wait, you did that? Oh, nice job. Oh wait, we're not here. We're not ready just yet. But Team Liquid ID do look ready for this Lord that has just spawned.
It's one of those situations where BIGETRON's looking at him and think, can you spin a little longer? Hold on.
Just a
we're
little
getting
bit
there.
more.
But now the Lord contested AOG, scouts out Light, stops him from going for the ambush. Heavy spin pushes Fabian away. Lord is easy pickings for Super Ken. Liquid now looking for revenge. RWM traps Super Ken. He's going to be picked up by Fabian. Unstoppable streak as Aaron Shiki knocks down the Badang as well. But Fabian will pay the price. The Shaw Shatter will pick him off at low HP. Luke gonna try and stop them from taking the mid tower, but Aaron already has a lot of damage, and that tower will not survive it.
With everything happening, BIGETRON Alpha got a lot, but they couldn't get that Bruno, who was just free to push down the mid and free to push down that tower. BTR, though, made a great call to still contest that Lord. Great entry again by Luke, heavy spin, being able to zone out Fabian. Super Ken got it without a problem, but he is still at 0, 3, and 2. It's tough for him to get any impact outside of winning the Retribution battles in. It also was unfortunate that Eman was not able to hit that Spear of Destruction earlier, and he's just been focused on pushing the side lane minion waves. Still good for them because at least they're managing the macro.
Yeah, I think macro play is actually very important against TLID because they just like scrapping. They like being together to take team fights. So even though BIGETRON hasn't really been winning their skirmishes so far, they're still actually winning in terms of map control thanks to Eman's presence. And it's actually giving him a lot of farm to catch up to Aaron Shiki too.
Yeah, and looking back at it, it made this Lord push even more devastating because those are lanes, that top lane was already worked on.
Jumps in on top of Joy, he got pinned! But Aran in the back line, that's gonna be a two-man push. Eman gonna be able to flicker out. Meanwhile, Light comes in, gets the wall. Super Ken picks off the beast as now BIGETRON is fighting back.
BTR, after one Lord take and managing the macro, they are in control. I welcome you to the Church of Akai, BTR.
That was a huge jump. Not only did Eman get the Spear of Misery onto Joy, but Light just followed up on it instantly alongside Luke to make sure that Fabian could not play that fight. They're now going for the bottom in him. Should be able to take it. This minion is pretty hard to whack down, but Team Liquid actually do stop them from taking further damage on the structure.
I like the initiative BIGETRON Alpha has taken in the past 4 sequences that we've seen. It's not just them being reactive, it's them actually trying to make things happen, and that's something that we doubted that they could do, but they went ahead and did it. They just forced it, and it worked out.
Yeah, I feel like this is a very different flavor of aggressive Akai, right? We've seen aggressive Akai junglers in the past to set up fights, but Luke just seems to approach it a bit differently.
Yeah. He's accepted what we branded him earlier where he's just a roamer now. He's like, he's owning that. He's like, yeah, Light is the one with the roam boot, sure, but you know what? Let me be the roamer for Light also.
I mean, that heavy spin was drafted for a reason, and Fabian has been actually finding some difficulty now because of this. The previous 2 deaths on the Joy, thanks to very quick positioning from Light and Luke. And the later the game goes, the more effective these heroes will be at locking down the TLID lineup. They actually need to start shifting a bit to macro.
Yeah, we now though have to see more kills getting racked up onto Luke and onto Eman as well. BIGETRON Alpha, they're holding this turtle. Have to commit this. Has to be a 5v5, and Eman can't just bank on him trying to get a Spear of Destruction entry in. He's going to clear that wave, but it is going to be 5v4 advantage for Team Liquid ID. But they're still taking it slow because they know up top is getting threatened by the Moskov.
Yeah, they actually have to send Aran back just to make sure that Eman doesn't get a cheeky inhibitor up top. BIGETRON is aware of this, but will still play it safe. They don't actually know of Fabian's positioning just yet. And Team Liquid is starting to reposition. I think BIGETRON wants to trade this for the tower.
Yeah, okay, so that is no Joy showing up for Team Liquid ID. Let's see if BIGETRON Alpha will just decide to push this, knowing that the Joy isn't there.
Aldrago comes in. That's going to be the fist break on Aran. He gets the combo onto Luke. BIGETRON still taking things slow. Eman comes in with Spear of Destruction. AOG lands in the backline, knocks up one, but Aran is gone. Super Ken comes in with the Soul Stuffer as Fabian melts down BIGETRON Alpha. It is a 2-for-3 trade and make that 4 with a triple kill going to the Usurper himself.
Perfect entry by Fabian. They knew he wasn't there. They didn't see him coming back to join in, and now it's just Luke against 3 members of TLID plus 1 siege minion.
Sometimes all it takes is a single play. It's a 1v3 situation. Luke gonna focus on pulling the minion away as Fabian makes a mistake, dies to the base. But despite his best efforts, Luke not able to hold on long enough. That's gonna be a free crystal open as TLID in an instant turn the game around.